The Washington Post ran an intriguing article arguing that streaming TV is in the middle of an existential crisis. It was an informative take, not just on higher prices and streaming services cutting shows without warning, but also how the people who create the shows we watch are being impacted. It got us thinking about how things are changing in interesting ways right now. Some streaming services are reining in spending, while others are spending mind-blowing amounts on original content.
Popular shows that have always been on broadcast TV are now slowly moving to streaming services exclusively.
And a new poll is out showing that people are cutting the cord on not just cable, but traditional TV as well, opting instead for free or ad-supported streaming services. Well, what does all of this mean for you? Could you be watching your favorite show in a different way or place next year? Let's dive in and find out.
First up, what broadcast staples are now exclusively streaming? Days of Our Lives and Dancing with the Stars, two longtime broadcast TV stalwarts, moved exclusively to streaming services back in August. We think it's likely that more shows will follow in the months ahead.
After 57 years on NBC, the long-running soap opera Days of Our Lives moved to Peacock. Now the only way to watch the show is with a paid Peacock subscription. NBC Universal Chairman of Television and Streaming, Mark Lazarus, explained the reason for the move as being, quote, reflective of our broader strategy to utilize our portfolio to maximize reach and strengthen engagement with viewers. With a large percentage of the Days of Our Lives audience already watching digitally, this move enables us to build the show's loyal fan base on streaming.
Really, viewership of soap operas has been declining for some time. ABC, meanwhile, moved the popular reality show Dancing with the Stars exclusively to Disney+, and that show is likely not to be the last.
Both moves show that streaming execs understand that viewing habits are changing. A survey from Future Today found out that 62% of respondents don't have access to broadcast TV, and 90% barely watch it. As the article from Streamable points out, people aren't just ditching cable, they're ditching live TV streaming services and antennas too.
To be fair, the sample size was just 300 people, so we want to be careful about applying the findings too broadly, but it does support other surveys and trends showing that people are cutting expenses. A study by Alumna Insights found that 1 in 5 U.S. households downgraded or canceled a paid streaming service in the last year. Ultimately, inflation has driven many people to spend less on TV.
This aligns with the explosion of free ad-supported streaming services like Tubi and Pluto. But consumers aren't the only ones spending less on TV. Studios are slashing costs too. Paramount Plus chief David Nevins said recently that the costs to create scripted content are soaring, and that as a result, spending is in a corrective mode.
Paramount Plus has shelled out quite a bit of cash for shows like Star Trek, Strange New Worlds, Halo, and Yellowstone prequel 1883. It's not just Paramount either. HBO Max is pulling dozens of films and TV series to cut spending. It yanked 20 HBO Max original series and tons of reality, kids, and family content. The cost cutting is being done ahead of the launch of a combined streaming platform that will bring Discovery Plus and HBO Max together.
Comcast, which owns NBC Universal and Peacock, is looking to cut up to $1 billion from budgets across its TV networks. They're looking at everything from layoffs to spending less on new shows and emphasizing low-cost shows instead of big-budget blockbusters. Netflix has also paused growth in spending on new content development. They plan to keep spending at about $17 billion through 2023. When it launches its ad-supported tier, that may infuse enough cash for Netflix to increase spending, but only time and adoption rates of the new tier will tell.
So what does all of this cutting mean for you? For starters, expensive series could end up not getting additional seasons, and shows that you liked could suddenly disappear from streaming services you use, or they could end up on a streaming platform instead of being on broadcast TV.
Going back to the article we showed in the beginning, content creators believe the result will ultimately be less diversity of content. One industry veteran quoted in the article said, quote, "My observation is that they're all trying to develop what I would say is less interesting television," end quote. We certainly hope that's not the case.
Yeah, there are some bright spots though. HBO originals continue to be solid with shows like Succession and Euphoria garnering awards and big budgets. And Apple TV Plus is putting out some compelling content.
And who can forget about Amazon? It's committed to 5 seasons of Rings of Power on Prime Video, which is breaking records for how much it costs to produce. And then there's Disney Plus, which is continuing to make waves with Mandalorian. That's another expensive show that has a future.
Yeah, not everyone is cutting back on everything, but it does seem like the overall effect could be less interesting content and fewer options for viewers.
The industry is definitely in consolidation mode, and just like the shows being cut, not every streaming service that exists today will survive when the consolidating is done. Former Disney CEO Bob Iger thinks Netflix, Apple TV Plus, Amazon, and Disney Plus will make it, but he's less certain about other major services he didn't mention by name, such as HBO Max, Peacock, and Paramount Plus.
His reasoning was solid. He argued that streaming is not Amazon or Apple's primary business. Creating content is expensive, and those tech companies can afford to bleed money on streaming because it strengthens their overall position in the market.
All that we can be certain of now is that the streaming space will likely look different in a year. We'll keep watching and sharing updates and trending information with you to help you find the best way to watch your shows and games at the best price and in the most convenient ways possible.
Well, that does it for this video. Have you lost the ability to watch a favorite show because it moved to a streaming service or got axed?
Have you switched from paid to free streaming services to save money this year? Let us know in the comments below. And if you haven't already, don't forget to like, subscribe, and turn on notifications so you can get all our latest news and reviews when they drop. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in our next video.